Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis, and today we are in the EZArcher, which is Arch Linux provided by Mr. Linux, or Mr. Eznix, and it's called the EZArcher, and I'm using the XFCE desktop. I want to show this. This is the computer that I'm on right now, and what I did, this is, by the way, this is, let's see, this was made in 2013. So that's the machine that I'm on right now. And what I did was I took this blank spot right here that you'll see, and I put one of these hot swap trays in it. And this happens to be by StarTech. And they come in many different configurations. You can see this same style, but with two hard drives, one for a full size and one for a smaller one like a laptop. They come in an array where you can have a 4 or 5. I don't know. Maybe you can do as many as you want. I don't know. All I know is this is what I put in this Dell Optiplex. And the beauty of that is I can take that hard drive, open this door, and take the hard drive right out, stick another hard drive in, which I have already done on several occasions. And you'll see that I'm fixing to make a small series of videos highlighting the systems that I have on this computer, on the MT7010. All right. With system information here, let's go to, well, look at the summary real quick. So we see it's Arch Linux on a mini tower. What I really want to look at, those boots. There it is right at the top. Scroll down to the bottom, which is the first entry. That was on April the 17th. So I've had this May, June, July, August, 4 months. Long enough to get fairly good acquainted with it. It's a great operating system. It's Arch Linux, but Mr. Linux, I did it again. Mr. Eznix he knows the stuff that most people are going to want or actually need, and may not even know they need it till they have a problem. So what he's done is included all that stuff. And for the normal end user, if I would have installed this, I wouldn't have had any problem whatsoever. And I don't think most typical end users would either. These are the web links pages as such. It uses the installer, Calamaris installer. I'll make sure all these notes are in the description below. This is, I guess you'd call this his homepage, Sourceforge, where you'll get all your information. And it goes extensively and tells you a lot about the system and the easy maintenance script. I love this thing. We'll look at that in just a second. It does come by default with Firewall D, but it is not enabled. So if you want to enable it in this maintenance script, there's an option right there, or you can do it in the command line, systemctl, enable, etc. And he stays on top of this thing. This is not just a fly-by-night project. He's been on this project now a couple of years, I'm pretty sure. And you might worry about, I've actually heard people say, well, that's a one-man distribution. Well, so what? It's based on Arch Linux. And even if Mr. Eznix decides tomorrow to quit producing this thing, it's still Arch Linux. And Arch ain't going nowhere. So rest your minds with that. You don't have to worry about that. That's not a issue at all, as far as I'm concerned. This is the OSDNet projects EZArcher, and you can get most of the same information, if not all, and you can get all your ISOs here. Here's Mr. Eznix's YouTube channel. We'll feature that here. I'll make sure this gets in the YouTube or in the description below. He added the Arch install to his own ISO, so that if you decide you want to use the Arch installer instead of one of his, it's there. All you got to do is open it up and follow it. He finally decided to theme his ISOs. He said he wasn't going to do that, but I think he did it because it was fun. here is my link for when I did an EZArcher install scripts guide and highlighting Mr. Eznix's work here. And let's bring up the easy maintenance thing here, because this is going to be on your system. Wrong password. This is a really awesome little script here. So you can check for failed systemd services if you think something has failed, or even if you're curious. Let's just go 1 and hit enter. Have nothing entered here. That's pretty good in 4 months. Check your journal logs, clean up your journal space, run system update even if you choose to here. You can clean your package cache, which is important because eventually that cache takes up a lot of room. It takes it up usually in small amounts at a time, but over time it can add up to a lot. So that's a great feature right there. You can also do that in the command line. In fact, I think it's in one of the scripts he shows you in his system. You'll see what he's doing in each one of these steps. Reset all Pac-Man keys. That's total maintenance on Pac-Man. Clean user cache on next boot, so you can elect to do that, and then when it reboots, it'll do it for you. Regenerate mirror list. He gives you the command in those scripts. Let me open that up real quick. When you install EZArcher, you'll see a folder in the home folder called EZArcher. Here's the auto cache clean text, install how to, easy maintenance how to, Arch ISO text, how to build your own ISO, readme text. That's always interesting. A lot of work Mr. Eznix has put into this. This is a great system, and I can't say it enough, but that if you want to run Arch and you don't want to have to go through a simple technique really to install Arch on your own and then have to figure out what coders, transcoders, codecs, plugins that you're going to be starting from scratch, and if you don't know those things, it's good to install something that has those so you can see what that system uses and build it into your own system if you choose. But it's just really a great guides. Here's how this is the BIOS GPT. For instance, if you was using a SSD in a system that only had BIOS boot, close that out. So here's the guides, scripts, BIOS, EZArcher, easy maintenance. Look, he's open and tells you all the work. It shows you all the work. It's evident what he's done here. I'm going to go ahead and hit X to exit. This is Inchy, and it's running. We're using X-Wayland, or we're using X11 with X-Wayland. And in my pure vanilla Arch Linux, this is the exact same. It's using ALSA, Pulse Audio, and Pipewire. And I haven't ever done anything to decide if I want to use Pipewire or not. It's just automatically in there. I don't know why, but it definitely is in there. All right, so that's that. Here's the notes that I did. Everything that you can think of in an Arch Linux system is readily available here. He's done a lot of work that you don't have to worry about whether or not when you open up a Pro media player, whether a codec's going to be available so it can play a certain file type. Audacity, all this stuff, it works just great. Let me bring up my GNOME system monitoring system here. For the system, got Arch Linux 519 kernel. That just came in this morning, I believe. Pretty sure it did. Optiplex 7010. Under, well, here you go. Processes. See all the processes that are running and active now. You can see all the services that are enabled by default. And, obviously you can get rid of them if you want to. If you don't want them. See firewall D there, it's disabled. And so if you wanted it enabled, you could see it's not running here. You could actually enable it, which is pretty slick. Under CPUs, we're running about 25%, and I got web pages open, OBS Studio, and I've been doing all kind of stuff. That's not too bad. It'll settle down some too. 2.9 gigabytes of RAM right now, and some of that's been cached. If you clear that cache, I'm sure that will go down. GNOME, keep calling it GNOME System Monitor. It's System Monitoring System. See, I know it's got an about. Does it say anything other than that? All right. Really, if you want to use Arch Linux, this is as far as I'm concerned, this is probably the best method to get it. And the reason why I say that is because you're offered the documents where you can see everything that's been gleaned right out of the Arch wiki on the installation. You just go right through it, and it's already laid out there. It's up to date. Or you can install it like I did, the lazy way, and install it through the Calamaris installer. Or he has a script that he can run. You can run with that will is very much like the Arch installer script, only a lot more flexible, if you ask me. And you can customize that any way you want to, and that way, if you install it on another system, you've already got all that set up. So this is it. Like I said, if I had to say which Arch spin was the best that I've ever used from Jump Street, it's got to be EZArcher hands down, because I've installed other systems, and I'm not going to name those, but they're Arch spins, and I'd go to play a WAV or MP3, and it'd say codec missing, or you open up Audacity and FFmpeg is missing, or all of them are with some fault. All of them have some greatness. I think this is the number one way to get Arch Linux on your system up and running in just a little while. And you can go, and once you get it installed, you can go through those notes, take notes, look at them, familiarize yourself with them, and go from there. Great. Let me say that just one more time. That's a great operating system, Arch Linux is. And Mr. Eznix over there has put in a lot of effort to make Arch Linux accessible, easy to use, and I want to say the word perfect, but nothing's perfect. So this is near perfect as I've seen in an Arch Linux spin installation. The end result is great. That's going to do it. I can't. I mean, I could go on all day talking about Arch Linux in particular, but the EZArcher has just made it totally easy for anybody to get. Oops, that's mine, not his. So here's where you would download it. One of the two places you could download it. And here's his YouTube channel. All this will be in the show notes below. Close out of this. I guess that's going to do it. If you're interested in running Arch Linux and you don't want to have to learn the wiki, here's a great way to do it. A good thing about that as well, this installs it on your system where you don't have to worry about, well, let me go look on this other computer how to do this. I've done that. I got a laptop sitting right over there, and every time I take on a project that I'm not sure about, like the first time I installed FreeBSD, that laptop was up and running and had all my notes on it. It's invaluable, and I think this is invaluable. All right, guys, peace out. Y'all be kind, stay safe. Bye. I'll see you on another video. Okay, hello, I'm Dennis. Today, we're on FreeBSD Patch 1, FreeBSD 13.1, Release Patch 1. Pretty name is FreeBSD 13.1 Patch 1. Close that out. And I'm also on this same Dell Optiplex 7010. What I did was I took this tray out, put this tray in, or I should say I took that blank out, put this in its place, and now I've got accessibility to add a hard drive, and this is another one. So this computer was made in 2013. This is 2022. In September of 2022, it will be 9 years old. 9 years old. Close that out. Don't really need it. What do I got to say about FreeBSD? Well, FreeBSD at the end of the month will supposedly have a patch that comes in that's going to upgrade my VirtualBox to match the right kernel. So that's still the same. But I tell you, FreeBSD, once you understand a little bit about how it works, you don't really have to understand a whole bunch about how it works. I don't. But once you understand the basics of it and you're willing to do a little research, you can get a good system going. It's solid. It's the only problem I've ever had that I can remember is this VirtualBox here. I'm going to take a little bit of the hit on that because I didn't have to upgrade when I did. My habit is to wait as long as I can. But I kept getting this message in the terminal after I update. It would say, you need to update for a new patch. This was going to expire in a couple of weeks. Well, that ain't true at all. It's not going to expire until August the 31st, FreeBSD 13 packages. Luckily, though, all of these work. The ones that I do have, or all the programs that I do have installed, all of them work with the exception of the VirtualBox. All of them work as far as I know, with the exception of the VirtualBox. OBS Studio, Kdenlive, Audacity. Audacity shows the progress bar. Krita, System Monitor. My system monitoring system is not available yet, or it's maybe in ports. I'm not sure. I hadn't looked. So I can't really. I don't reckon. I don't really have anything new to show you about FreeBSD. My primary goal is to show you that this computer right here. You may wonder how do I do all my distro hopping in a VirtualBox sometimes, but as a rule, I've got two computers that both. Well, actually, I got three computers that have those hot swap trays in them, and one of them is considered a permanent installation. It's got ArchinLinux on it with the SSD on a BIOS boot. And I SSH'd into that from a different system, and I made a video of it. So that computer has stayed the same. It's not changed. I now have FreeBSD as well set up natively on a hard drive. If I count them, I got FreeBSD, GhostBSD, OpenBSD, the EZArcher, and MxLinux, 5 operating systems on this one computer. Now, sure, you have to pull it out, put in another one, crank it up, but so what? This computer's 13 years old. I don't care. Not a whole lot anyway. I'll be disappointed, but, what are you going to do? 13 years old. And I just did an update. Everything seems to work with the exception of the VirtualBox, and I have complete faith that that's going to be by the 1st September, it'll be fixed. The new packages will match the new kernel. All right. Thanks very much for watching. This is FreeBSD 13.1, patch 1. And, I use this as a daily driver. I have a machine right over there. It's I believe it's a 790, similar to this machine. But it had FreeBSD. That was my first FreeBSD installation that I got right. And most of the videos that you see that I'm using FreeBSD have been on that machine over there. So I'm saying that as a daily driver, you could actually do it. You could put this in an office and do the printing. What else would you need besides printing other than browsing a web or doing something with math or let's see, in Office. I don't even have a LibreOffice installed on this. FreeBSD has a lot of packages in the tens of thousands I heard this just recently. It was a phenomenal number of packages that are available for FreeBSD now. A great operating system. Like I said, I wouldn't be afraid to use this as my constant daily driver. In fact, like I just got through saying a while ago, I did use that one over there as a daily driver. Every day I did something on it. Now it's lucky if I crank it up every 3 days to do an update. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate y'all listening to me ramble. Peace out, guys. Y'all be kind. I'll see you on another video. In today's video, I'm still on the Dell Optiplex Mini Tower 7010. I removed this tray, or I removed this blank right here, put in this hot swap tray, and now this is my GhostBSD system that we're running on right now. Again, this computer was made 2013, it'll be 9 years old, just a few days. Let's see here. We got name GhostBSD version 220806. I need to change. No, that's when I installed it. Never mind. Pretty name GhostBSD. All right. GhostBSD. We're using the fish shell. And like I said, I'm on the MT7010. Now, this virtual box, and I'm on GhostBSD, which happens to be my favorite BSD by far now. Watch, this is set up archinstall-git, and you just saw the error I got in FreeBSD because of the kernel mismatch. We're not going to get this here. In fact, I could have just powered off at that point right there, but let me log in. Yeah, I could just power off. I believe this was the one that I SSH'd in it from GhostBSD into this virtual box and installed Arch Linux. I think that was the one right there. Go through my menu real quick. At the top, I got on my favorites. I got FeatherPad, Thunar File Manager, OBS Studio, which is running now, Kdenlive, which works great. It's not a flat pack, but it still works great. Audacity shows me the progress bar, Krita, System Monitor, and as same as in FreeBSD, the System Monitoring Center is not available yet, and it may still could be in Ports. Don't know. Ports is amazing. Cheese, Simple Screen Recorder, Webcamoid, Software Station, which I see it's showing me an update over here. You know, I got all my programs. I got my games. And it's just really nice. Point is, though, this is that same 7010 Dell Optiplex that now has 5 different operating systems that I can boot into, and without worrying about messing up another one because it's dual booting, or worrying about an upgrade coming in that's going to damage my other installation because it's not on the same hard drive at all. This same machine, just a different hard drive. So this is my GhostBSD. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on another video. Peace out. Bye. Okay, so now I'm still on the Optiplex 7010 that I removed this blank and I put in a hot swap tray. This is the Dell Optiplex 7010, and we're running the MxLinux on it. Pretty name Debian GNU Linux, Debian. Pretty name Debian, bullseye. And like I said, this is on that machine there. Bring up this monitor. Got about 25% of our CPUs. I've been doing some other stuff. Opened up OBS Studio. It's recording. Just looked at some web pages, so that'll settle down more than likely using 1.6 gig of RAM and this MxLinux. Let's see, was it quick system? Actually, a program called Inchi. machine, Optiplex 7010. System is 510 kernel, desktop FCE 14. It was the Wildfire, MX21.1 64 Wildfire, Wildflower, quad core 7010. So this is the fourth operating system that's seen that I've installed here. Next in alphabetical order will be OpenBSD. And I'm showing you this because this is all done off of one machine, and the hard drives themselves are only 320 gigs, I think. This one's not, well, it probably is a 320 gig and showing 298 on disk. I'm not better. Got 320 gig hard drive. And, you know, you can buy a 320 gig hard drive now for less than 20 bucks a lot of times. And I can clearly remember my first 320 gig hard drive cost me 250 bucks. And before that, everything was like 80 gigs, and you could just about count for $1 a gigabyte. Boy, have we come a long way. Okay, I'll be back in my next video. Thanks for watching. Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis, and welcome back. Today, I'm still on the Optiplex 7010, where I took out this blank right here, and I inserted this hot swap tray, and I'm in on a hard drive that now has OpenBSD 7.1 on it with 626 packages installed. What can you say? This is OpenBSD. I've done quite a bit of, oh, let's see what that is. Anyway, I've done some videos on OpenBSD. I kind of like OpenBSD. For what I do, it's not my favorite operating system, but it is a good operating system. If right here it says it's free, functional, and secure, and I think it is. There's a lot of programs you can't get installed on here, even through ports or whatever. It's just not available on OpenBSD. OpenBSD, in my opinion, is not geared toward the normal desktop end user. If you're sitting in your home and you want to use your computer, you're either watching videos online or this, that, and the other, that's fine. But when you start trying to print and record, do other things, you might have a problem. So, I mean, it's a good operating system. There's no doubt about it. And there are games and stuff available. You won't hear this because I'm using a USB port, not a USB port, a HDMI for my audio. And if I plug a headphone in, I can hear it just fine. But for some reason, it will not transfer from the computer through the HDMI into the monitor. That's OpenBSD on a MT7010, 9 years old, beginning of this next month. Thanks so much. I'll see you in another one. Bye.